now 2025. Can you believe it? I can't believe it because Miss Tasha is old and I can't believe since 1946. Okay, now, here's the deal, guys. What I'm going to be doing this year is the Ledger Dispatch puts out this pet photo contest and they do a calendar. Well, every month they have, like this month, it's birds and squirrels. There's a squirrel day. In fact, let me just look here. Let me get this so I have it exactly right. All right, the squirrel day is National Bird Day is the 5th, and the Squirrel Appreciation Day, it's really good, is the 21st. And then on the 29th, it's the Lunar New Year, and it's the Year of the Snake. So I'm going to tell you, I have 3 books. I'm going to tell you a little bit about snakes at the end of my next one. Because I was going to wear, but I remembered at 6:30 this morning, I have a Tri-County Wildlife t-shirt that has all kinds of birds on it. You guys, you can't believe what my closet looks like now. It looks like a tornado hit it. Could I find the t-shirt? No. So, sorry, you're going to have to see me in purple the whole time. Oh, that's right, because you do know. What does Miss Tasha just love to wear? Purple. I mean, look at even my pants. You guys, even my shoes are purple. And then, of course, what do I just love to eat?
I love chocolate.
And, of course, my voice. And there's going to be one story that I'm going to read today that I'm going to read like I have a really, really bad cold. It's really funny. But I'm going to do a little advertisement. If you would like a Ledger Dispatch pet photo calendar, you can pick them up here at Ledger Dispatch for a small donation, and the donation could be a large donation. The donation goes to APAL and Tri-County Wildlife, the t-shirt I was supposed to be wearing. So anyway, they really are neat. So even if you don't take the Ledger Dispatch, you can come in and get, and it is fabulous. And I mean, the month of June, let me find the month of June. You guys, this is the grand prize winner. Isn't that cute of the dog? So if you're an animal lover, and it also helps 2 of our wonderful things, the Tri-County Wildlife and the APAL, get yourself a calendar. All right, here we go. So I'm doing squirrels and birds first, okay? So the first one I'm going to read is A Squirrel's Tale. Okay, I'm going to have to put you over here. Now, this is really neat because it says, you just slip me through the slot. Isn't that interesting? And it is written and illustrated by Richard Fowler. Its copyright is 1983. The publisher is Ventura Publishing Limited, and it's printed and bound in Malaysia by Tinwas? I don't know what it is. Anyway, but this is going to be fun, except it's going to be hard because Miss Tasha has to put it through the slot. Okay, here we go. It says, please come help me through the woods and help me to find, because, you know, remember squirrels, they store nuts and everything, so they can have that during the winter. Well, he can't find where he stored them. I know. So here we go. So it goes in. All right, down you go. Okay. Woo! Oh! A squirrel woke up after a long nap. I'm hungry. Now, where did I store all my nuts? The squirrel jumped into the nearest tree. Have you seen my nuts? No, we haven't. We want our mommy. I want a beetle. I mean, look at, they're all wanting to eat. Okay, so he goes now, and we have to put it through here. This is really interesting. So I'm putting him through here, and he's coming out. If he's coming out, yes. Oh, he's coming out. There. Hello, Mrs. Blackbird. Have you seen my nuts? And then he goes, well, try Mr. Owl. So up we go, and we go into Mr. Owl. So let's see what happens when we go into Mr. Owl. Excuse me, Owl. I wonder if you have seen my nuts. And it says, beware of the woodchopper. Oh, do you mind? I've been up all night. No, I haven't. Okay, so here we go. We go down. Now this time, oh, it's the Book of Knowledge. Because, I mean, owls are supposed to be so smart. I'm going to read an owl story later that is really cute. Okay, if I can. This is hard, guys, because Miss Tasha has arthritis and it's hard for Miss Tasha to do things. I might have put them in there. Ooh, in the teapot. Okay, let's look. Go away, croak, croak. No. Squirrel jumped off Al's tree and landed by a rusty old tea kettle. Well, there's no need to be rude because the frog was not very nice. And the little mouse is going, hee 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 hee. Okay, here we go. All right, gotta find it again. Here we go. Where is it? Oh, it's here. Here it is. All right. All right, so here we go. He's going in here now. Whoop, there he is. Hello, Vole. Have you come across my store of nuts? See, so she comes. Nothing here, squirrel. Try next door. Goodbye. All right, he's gonna go through here. We can go through here. Come on. Come on. This is not working. Because Miss Tasha has trouble with her. There we go. In he goes. Alright. So he says, goodbye. Knock, knock. Hello, Mole. Says, Mole, please knock. Have you seen my nuts? I can't find them anywhere. He says, come on in. So he's letting him come in. Calm down, squirrel. The trouble with you is you're always making mountains out of molehills. Ha, 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 ha. That's a thing. Have a cup of tea. Oh, well, bye, Mole. So he's going now down and he's going out the door. So here we go. And it's hard because I got to get them so they go one. Whoop, there he goes. Yep, there he goes. He's going. All right, he's leaving Mr. Mole. Uh-oh. Squirrel popped out of Mole's hole just as a fox walked by. I'm starving. I could just eat a squirrel. I'm hungry too, so if you ate me, it would make you twice as hungry. He's trying to outfox the fox. So here he comes, and he goes down, and he comes, and he's going to hide in a log, guys. He's going to hide in a log. See if the fox can't get him in the log. Okay, let's see. Oh, whoa, it's bats. Have any of you bats seen my nuts? Hang on, let me think. Don't keep us in suspense. I always thought bats were a little nuts. Uh-huh. So here he goes again, and down he goes. This is quite a book, guys. I can't remember even where I got it, to tell you the truth. Because what was it? Since 1983 is the. Okay, come on. I gotta get into there. You gotta let me get in here, you guys. Come on. You gotta let me get in. Come on. Where can I get in? There. Oh, there. Oh. There I go. I can get in now. Oh no! Squirrel got caught up in Spider's web, but didn't heed Spider's warning. I wouldn't go in there if I were you. Oops, sorry, Spider. So out he comes, and it says the wood chopper. Keep out. I don't know if that's a good idea that he goes in here. Even the spider, look at that, there's a big axe. Even the spider told him not to go in. Here we go. Hello, little fellow. How about a nice piece of nutty chocolate? Help! And out he goes the window. Out the window. Okay, out he goes. There he goes. Ho, ho, ho. Squirrel was so scared he jumped high in the air and landed in a pile of leaves. Woo! Boing! And guess what he found? All of his nuts. Isn't that cute? So then they actually have where you can go like this. You put them in here because here's a nice big hole. And it goes, let's do it again! And they are so smart because they thought eventually I might lose this. I'm trying not to lose it. If you lose your squirrel, it even tells you how you can do it. And then it says also look for there's a mouse about the house. I bet you that would be cute too, but I love the squirrel one. So there's the squirrel one. All right. Whew. All right, the next one. And it just kills me because you guys, I don't have a bird hat and I don't have a squirrel hat. It doesn't feel right that I don't have hats on. Okay, this is The Tree That We Planted by Kate McMullen, illustrated by Allison Friend. Copyright is 2022. The publisher is Alfred A. Knopf. Knopf, K-N-O-P-F. Okay. All right, here we go. And this is kind of a neat one because it's more than just birds and squirrels. This is a tree. This is the tree. This is the tree we planted. Hey, there's a nest that rests in the tree that we planted. And 1, 2, 3 eggs inside the nest that rests in the tree that we planted. This must be the robin that laid the eggs inside the nest that rests in the tree that we planted. See, both couldn't believe it. Look at the squirrel with the thrashing tail raced by the robin that laid the eggs inside the nest that rests in the tree that we planted. Oh, look at. Did you hear the kids? They squeak and wail, calling the squirrel with the thrashing tail that raced by the robin that laid the eggs inside the nest that rests in the tree that we planted. Oh, here we go, guys. I see a hawk with feathers pale, eyeing the kits that squeak and wail. Oh no, that raced by the robin that laid the eggs inside the nest that rests in the tree that we planted. Oh no, no, no. Here comes the jays. See, look at all these birds. Here come the jays zooming over the trail, scaring the hawk with feathers pale, that eyed the kits that squeak and wail, calling the squirrel with the thrashing tail, that raced by the robin that laid the eggs inside the nest, that rests in the tree that we planted. Oh my goodness. Oh, now we're away from the birds. I spy a spider on a silken sail, slides by the jays that zoomed over the trail, that scared the hawk with the feathers pale, that eyed the kits that squealed and wailed, calling the squirrel with the thrashing tail, that raced by the robin that laid the eggs inside the nest that rests in the tree we planted. Whew! Okay. Yes. Lizard. Oh no. Ate the spider. Yikes, that spider with leaf green scales ate the spider on the silken sail that slid past the jays that zoomed over the trail, that scared the hawk with the feathers pale, that eyed the kits that squeak and wail, calling the squirrel with the thrashing tail, that raced by the robin that laid the eggs inside the nest that rest in the tree that we planted. Whew! Look, a walking stick. What is that? The praying mantis. A walking stick as thin as a rail, a scarlet tanager eating a snail, a butterfly with wings so frail, a woodpecker pounding like hammer on nail. So see, there's a lot of birds in here. Listen, the owl from down in the dark calling, "Who, who, who? Who planted the tree? We planted the tree." And what did we see? A nest, eggs, robin, squirrel, kits, that's the little baby squirrels, hawk, jay, spider, lizard, walking stick, which is a praying mantis, tanager, snail, butterfly, woodpecker, and an owl. So many lives are part of the tree, all part of the tree that we planted. And now it's in the fall with all the pretty colors. I thought it was a good book because it really tells how nature can all be together and you have to be careful. All right, so now we're back to squirrels. What did the squirrel find? It's by Susan Hill. It's illustrated by Jacqueline East. Copyright is 2005, and the publisher is Scholastics Incorporated. Okay, here we go. Now, Just to let you know, on every page they have words that are in blue. And those are words, when we go to the very end of the thing, is that I will explain what some of these words mean, okay? So some of them you go, what, Miss Tasha? I don't know what you're talking about. All right. One warm spring day, Squirrel was searching for nuts he buried last fall. See? They still have the trouble finding the nuts. I can't believe it. It was quite an adventure each year, trying to remember where he'd hidden each one. Squirrel licked his lips at the thought of all those scrumptious nuts, and soon he came upon something buried among the roots of a tree. What's this? Squirrel was curious. It was clearly not a nut. He peered at the strange object, then poked at it. It ticked, and it felt kind of warm when he held it, and it glowed a little. Squirrel carried the thing to the stream, plunged it into the water to wash off the dirt. He was enthusiastic and hopeful that it would be a tasty treat, and then he licked the shiny shell. Yuck! No, not something to eat. I'll see if anybody knows what this odd thing is, he said, and he scampered off to show his friends. A very strange thing indeed, said Snake. When Squirrel showed her the thing, Snake slithered over to take a closer look. Yes, she agreed, it's most unusual. Well, what do you suppose it is? Squirrel asked. I don't know. You'd better ask Bear, said Snake. Okay, so he goes to the bear. Where did you get this thing? Asked Bear, suddenly suspicious. Did you steal it? Of course not, Squirrel sputtered. I dug it up. Sorry for the misunderstanding, Bear mumbled. I thought it was a walnut, said Squirrel. It's not a walnut. Anybody can see that it's not a walnut, said Bear. Then what do you suppose it is? Squirrel wondered. The bear scratched his head. It's a complicated problem. You better ask Owl. So see, we are still getting some birds in here. Well, Squirrel came up upon Owl, who was asleep in a tree. Owl, Squirrel said softly. Owl murmured, half asleep. Is that you, Squirrel? What a coincidence. I was just dreaming about squirrels. Listen to this and tell me what it is, said Squirrel, and he held up the ticking thing to the owl's ear. It sounds like a woodpecker a mile away, said the owl. Then Owl opened one eye, and then he looked at the thing. Imposter, he yelled. It's not a woodpecker at all. Of course not. Squirrel sighed. Nobody seems to be able to help. Well, I don't know what it is, Owl snapped. All I know is it's broad daylight and I'm exhausted. Don't you know that I'm a night owl? Well, Squirrel sat on a rock under a shady tree. I wish I'd never found you, he said to the thing. All you do is tick, but you don't talk. I've run around all morning trying to find out what you are, but nobody knows. Has been nothing but a wild goose chase. And with that, Squirrel tossed the thing over his shoulder and walked away. No point in being upset about it, Moose advised later. Does it even matter what the thing is? It wasn't a nut. That's the important thing to remember. With all your worrying over something that wasn't even a nut, I'd say you're gone and made a mountain out of a molehill. You're right, said Squirrel, and he started off toward home. But before he walked very far, he began to miss having the thing. Even if he couldn't eat it, and all it did was tick, he went back and he picked it up. Squirrel carried the thing to his tree. He climbed up the tree, through the door, and into his house. He made his dinner. He looked at the thing while he ate. At least I don't have to feed you, he said. Squirrel got ready for bed. He looked at the thing as he brushed his teeth. At least you don't have teeth to clean, he said. Squirrel tried to read his book, but kept looking over at the thing. I'm too sleepy to read, he said. Finally, he turned out the light and pulled up the covers. Squirrel tried to sleep, but the night was cold and the house was drafty. He looked at the thing. He looked at the door. He got an idea. He got out of bed, picked up the thing, and placed it carefully in the door hole. The thing fit perfectly in the door, and it blocked the draft quite nicely. I don't know what you are, said Squirrel to the thing, and I may never know. All I know is that you transformed my drafty old tree into a warm, cozy home with your faint ticking and a soft glow. Squirrel smiled. I'm glad I found you. I'm glad you weren't a walnut after all. And then Squirrel fell fast asleep while the curious thing kept watch. Okay, so here we go. A wild goose chase is trying very hard to do something but not getting anywhere. Okay? An adventure is something that you do that's exciting and maybe a little bit out of the ordinary. Coincidence is when two things happen exactly at the same time but weren't planned to. Complicated, having lots of different plots or ideas which make something difficult to understand. Curious, being eager to find out about something. Drafty, the feeling of cold and moving through a room or a closed place. Enthusiastic, being very interested and exciting to do something. Exhausted, feeling very tired and worn out. Fake, it's hard to hear. Imposter, a person who tries to trick others by pretending to be somebody else. Make a mountain out of a molehill. I love that one. And that one is made something that isn't important seem important. Misunderstanding, thinking something is one way when it isn't. Peered, look very carefully at something. Plunged, that means you pushed in suddenly. That's when you went and put it in the water. Scampered, ran or went quickly, lightly, and you scamper kind of on your tiptoes, you run. Scrumptious, getting great tasting, delicious. Slithered, slide slowly along the surface, that's what the snake does. Sputtered, makes spitting and popping noises. As if someone is doing something wrong. Oh, suspicious, that's the one is if you're thinking that somebody's doing something wrong. Transformed, changed one thing into a completely different thing, and wondered, thought about something you wanted to know more about. So there's some nice words there for you to learn. Oh, you're going to love this one. This is Wordy Birdie. It's by Tammy Sauer. It's illustrated by Dave Tran. I could not find the copyright anywhere on this book. I mean, I even had my magnifying glass. I couldn't find the copyright. Sorry about that. But the publisher is Dragonfly Books. And that's why I'm going to read the back first. Hi, I'm Wordy Birdie. I'm the star of this book, really. This book contains a lot of things like drama and heart and humor and my friends and the words tuna salad and, oh, I almost forgot. There's also a big scary bear. I give this book 5 gold stars, 2 wings up, and a standing ovation. Now it's time to stop reading this book cover stuff and dig into the real thing. What are you waiting for? Well, just to let you know, it says Dragonfly Books allow children to think, imagine, and dream. Not only is there this one, you can look it up on dragonfly.com. Yeah. I don't want to be a frog. The bear ate your lunch, or the little sister ate one hare. Oh dear. Ooh, ate a rabbit. Well, okay, here we go. Wordy Birdie, you're going to love it. It's so funny. All right, here we go. Yay! You're so close to the story right now. Just turn the page. She's very excited. I am too. Well, we are in a pretty great book. All right, here we go. If I can do it with my fingers. Here we go. Oh my gosh, I found it. Copyright's 2018. It was on the third page. I didn't expect it. So it's copyright's 2018. Okay, Wordy Birdie. Here we go. Meet Wordy Birdie. Wordy Birdie has lots to say. It starts the moment she wakes up. See? Hello, sunrise. Hello, pink sky. Hello, orange sky. Hello, yellow sky. Hello. Hello, gorgeous. She's looking at herself. Boy, these pages are not easy. Okay. Nope, there's a page here that I think I'm missing. No, yes, yes, sir. I don't like these books when they're so slick. Sometimes Wordy Birdie talks about what she likes. I like spaghetti and unicorns and library books, good girl, and polka dots and standing on my head, and sometimes she talks about what she doesn't like. I don't like tall grass, or turtlenecks, or long lines, or tuna salad, or losing my balloon, and sometimes she just asks questions. Why do zebras have stripes? Is Bigfoot real? Are we there yet? How many of you have said to your mother, are we there yet? Are we there yet? But she never stops talking long enough to get the answers. Wordy Birdie is not the world's best listener. Oh, please. Are we talking about the same bird here? Oh, that's more like it, it says. Okay, Wordy Birdie is terrible at listening. She never listens to anyone, even when she should. This one time, I totally went swimming with a narwhal. You know what a narwhal is? It's kind of like a whale. My third cousin Barb is a penguin, really. Do you think there's an award for a bird of the year? Fact, people used to think the world was flat and you could fall right off the end, which is true. One day, Wordy Birdie takes a walk into the deep woods. Naturally, she has plenty to say. That's a pretty tree, and that's a pretty danger sign. And that's a pretty tree, and... Danger ahead, turn back. Before long, Squirrel zips in front of Wordy Birdie. Stop! Don't go any farther. Does Wordy Birdie listen? No. She does not. Ew, a pine cone. Oh, a sign. Oh, a rock. Oh, a leaf. Wrong way. Soon Rabbit dashes onto the scene. Go back while you still can. Does Wordy Birdie listen? No. She does not. Yo, my favorites! Strawberries for me, and carrots for me, and tomatoes for me. And it says no trespassing, and there's a big bear paw print. Then Raccoon gives a piece of advice. Run for your life! What do you think? Whoa, it's getting darker and darker and darker, and looky there, white circles and triangles. I love white circles and triangles. Roar, roar, roar. Oh, do Squirrel, Rabbit, and Raccoon just leave Wordy Birdie there? We do not. Follow us. Come on. This way. She listens. Oh, she listens. Hooray, that was almost unbearable. We made it. Then Wordy Birdie says thank you the best way she knows how. I love you guys, Mike. I really, 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 really love you. Seriously, I love you more than spaghetti and unicorns and... Wordy Birdie still likes to talk a lot. See? Good night, sunset. Good night, orange sky. Good night, purple. Ooh, good night, you. She looks in the mirror. Remember when we totally saved you from that bear? We were brave and amazing, and that was so cool. She likes to listen too. Now that's what I call a good story. I'm going to read it again and again and again and again. And she'll read it approximately 523 more times. This is true. Yep. I know. I thought it was cute. All right. I gotta have a drink after doing the rah, rah, rah of the bear. I also couldn't find my purple glass. Miss Tasha was having problems this morning. Okay. Now, this is one of my favorite books. This is called Those Darn Squirrels. It is so cute. It's by Adam Rubin. It's illustrated by Daniel Salmari. Copyrights 2008. The publisher is Clarion Books. And believe it or not, in December of 2021, I got this book to Miss Tasha. Thank you for reading to us. The Ione Elementary State Preschool. That is Shannon who gave that to me. I really appreciate that. Okay, those darn squirrels. On the outskirts of town, at the edge of the forest, there was a little old house, and one thing older than the little old house was the man who lived in it. Old Man Fookwire, Fookwire, Fookwire. Old Man Fookwire was so old that when he sneezed, dust came out. That's pretty old. He was also a grump. He hated pie. How could anybody hate pie? He hated puppies. Oh, come on, really? And the only thing he liked was birds. All summer long, Old Man painted pictures of the birds that visited his backyard. There were whirlybirds and bongo birds and baba birds and yaba birds. Even a rare flugel bird came by once or twice. Fookwire's paintings weren't very good, but the birds never said anything. When the air turned crisp and the leaves began to change color and the old man grew sad, he knew that soon the birds would fly south for the winter, as they did every year, and that he would be lonely. Then he had an idea. If he fed the birds, maybe they would stick around. So look, he made all of these bird houses. Old Man Fookwire built beautiful bird feeders and put them up all around his backyard. He filled the feeders with delicious seeds and berries, and soon the birds came from all over the forest just to eat in the old man's yard. But the birds weren't the only ones who liked the bird feeders. The squirrels did too. Not many people know this, but squirrels are the cleverest of all woodland creatures. In fact, they're fuzzy little geniuses. They can make a house out of a tree, a bed out of a bunch of leaves, and a box kite out of twigs, dirt, and squirrel spit. They are also excellent at math. So winter was fast approaching, and the squirrels needed to gather as much food as they could to get ready. So they decided to take some of the bird food. The birds were not happy. Neither was Old Man Fookwire. When he discovered what happened, he shook his old man fist and yelled, "Those darn squirrels!" Well, then he filled the bird feeders again, but this time he hung them over the clothesline, and then he went back inside, confident that the squirrels could no longer be able to get the seeds and the berries. But the squirrels were determined, and they devised a plan, and this time they took all the food from the bird feeders. Look at oh my gosh, they just used it to, they're something else. The birds were furious. "Hurrup, hurrup, hurrup," yelled Bonga Bird. "Those dog squirrels," yelled the Old Man Fookwire. "Yum," said the squirrels. Oh my God, look how fat they are. Oh my gosh, they're fat in their tummies. Well, now it was Old Man Fookwire's turn to devise a plan. He went to the general store to get his supplies. He bought tasers and clamps, and he bought wires and springs. He bought all sorts of tools and built a veritable fortress around his bird feeders. Then he refilled them very carefully. "Na na 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 na," snorted the flugel bird. Oh, look at this. There's an old boot. Oh my gosh, there's a piece of pie. There's mouse traps. Oh my gosh. The squirrels stayed up all night working out their strategy. They drank cherry cola and ate salt and vinegar chips to help them stay awake. Finally, they had a perfect plan. They put on their tiny helmets and prepared to launch themselves into the air, over the fence, between the lasers, and onto the bird feeders. Okay, let's see if this works. The first squirrel misfired and hit a tree. The second squirrel went too high and landed in a bucket. The third squirrel sailed clear over the whole house. Oh, the birds laughed and laughed, and they had each time their last precious mouth of seeds and berries from the old man's feeders. Then they flew south for the winter, as they did every year. Said the frugal bird to the squirrels. Well, after the birds left, Old Man Fookwire was lonely. Just as he was every year, he fixed himself some cottage cheese and pepper, his favorite snack, but he was still lonely when he looked out the window and the squirrels could tell that he wasn't happy. "Go away!" shouted the old man. "I don't like you squirrels." Oh. Well then, the squirrels held a meeting deep inside a large tree, and they decided to give the old man a present to make up for taking all the seeds and berries. Now, not many people know this, but squirrels are not only fuzzy little geniuses, they also collect just about anything that can be found on the ground. These squirrels had a vast stockpile of spectacular junk to choose from. But what would Fookwire like? Bottle caps, popsicle sticks, postage stamps. Finally, they had the perfect gift. Oh my God, look at all those things. Even Band-Aids, paper clips, oh my gosh. Well, the squirrels stacked all of their loose change on the old man Fookwire's doorstep. There were dimes and pennies, there were nickels and quarters, there was even a few tokens from Coco's Arcade. It all added up to $47.36. Wow. Plus a few rounds of skee ball. Oh, I loved skee ball growing up. "Maybe you squirrels aren't so bad," Fookwire said when he found the coins, "but I still like the birds better." They gave the squirrels another idea. They raided their junk collection again, and got to work. When old man Fookwire woke up the next morning, he was amazed to see that the bird had returned. But wait, those weren't the birds, they were the squirrels in disguise. "Great googly moogly," said old man Fookwire. "This will make quite a painting." So he ran outside, took down the lasers and the wires and the spring-loaded trapeze. What did he do? He turned all the bird feeders into squirrel feeders, and then he painted till his brush ran out of bristles. Oh, I love it. The squirrels were so overjoyed, they had a party in old man Fookwire's house. "Those darn squirrels," said Fookwire, and then he shook his old man fist and he smiled. I know. So I have the squirrels and the birds. I mean, what can I say? This Tasha is amazing. I know what I can say. All right, so here's the deal. All right, and I talked to Jeff Mitchell today. And the thing is, I usually only do about six stories. And I had two that were really, it was really a toss-up. Wise Up, Silly Owl, and the Sulky Vulture. And so I brought both of them, but I didn't do all of the stuff, where I'm supposed to do the copyright and who wrote it and all that stuff for Sulky Vulture because I picked this one. So if I have time, I'm going to, and this is Happy Birthday from your friends at Little Oak. Happy birthday to Miss Tasha, 2009. I know. All right, here we go. Wise Up, Silly Owl. It's by Stephen Metzger, illustrated by House Wilhelm, copyrights 2008, publisher is Scholastic Incorporated. All right. Let me get a little bit of a drink of water. It was late afternoon in the great woods when Spotty the Owl woke up. "Whee!" Spotty yelled as he flew out the window and soared up into the sky. He twirled around 10 times and then he landed on a tree and did a bouncy dance. All at once he heard a familiar voice. "Spotty, it's time for your lessons." It was his father, the wise old owl. "I don't want to go home," Spotty thought, "but I guess I have to." He flew through the window and found that his father was waiting for him. Father Owl turned to Spotty. "Oh dear, I have to help your Aunt Evelyn fix her leaking roof. While I'm away, you're in charge." Spotty nodded. "Try to remember some of what I taught you," Father Owl said as he took off. "I should be back tomorrow. Goodbye." "This will be easy," Spotty thought. "I'll just pretend to be wise. Nobody will know I'm not." His ancestors, watching from the pictures on the walls, weren't so sure. Well, there was a knock on the door. "Come in," Spotty called out. "Are you the wise old owl?" Susie Squirrel asked. "Well, no, that's my father," Spotty said, "but he had to go away. How can I help you?" "I forgot where I buried," see? In every book, they forget where they bury their nuts. I can't admit. "I forgot where I buried my acorns. And it's almost winter, and Spotty tried to look thoughtful, and then he began. "Climb a tree, dance around, run and jump, and look at the ground. Now you may go," Spotty added. "Goodbye." So, gotta get this going. Here we go. So Susie scurried off. After a few seconds, Spotty followed her to see what would happen. Susie did exactly as she was told. After dozens of acorns fell to the ground, she happily gathered them. "Thank you, Owl is very wise," she excitedly told her friends. "And this wise stuff is a snap," Spotty said as he flew home. Maybe not so much. Are you ready? Well, the next morning, Max Beaver showed up. "Susie told me that you gave her a good advice. I have a problem too." "What is it?" "Every time I build a dam, it falls apart." "What should I do?" Well, Spotty smiled wisely and sage. "Gather sticks, pile them all tall, sit on top, and have a ball." Well, again, Spotty followed to see what would happen. But this time, Max's dam came apart and he fell into the water. Splash! "The young owl is not wise at all," he shouted. "I'm going to tell everyone." Spotty's wings drooped as he flew home and crawled into bed. "I really messed things up," he said. Well, later that afternoon, Rosie Robin flew in the window and began chirping. Is the wise old owl back?" "I have a problem. I heard you're too silly." "I can be wise. I know I can. Give me a chance." "Well, there's a fox near my tree, and I'm afraid that he's going to get my eggs." Spotty looked at one of his father's signs. Birds of a feather flock together. "I've got it," he said. "Call your friends from far and near. That'll make that mean old fox disappear." "I don't think that will work," Rosie said, "but I have got to do something." And she flew off out of the window and she yelled, "Help! Help me!" Of course, look at those are all the ancestors. This time, Spotty stayed home. He paced back and forth. "I hope everything turns out okay." He looked up at his ancestors. They seemed a little nervous, too. Well, dozens of Rosie's bird friends followed her home, and the fox started to climb the tree. "There he is," Rosie shouted, and the birds flew toward the fox, screeching and pecking. Terrified, the fox scampered away. "We did it," one of the robins exclaimed. "We got rid of the fox." "Yes," Rosie said, "thanks to Spotty's good advice." The robins flew from the burrow to the den, spreading around the good news about Spotty. I love it. There he is. A few minutes later, Spotty heard a commotion. He saw a large group of animals coming toward him. "Uh-oh," he thought. "Maybe they're mad at me." "Hooray for Spotty! You saved the day." "What?" "You helped Rosie scare the fox away. She told us all about it," Susie Squirrel added. "Let's have a party for Spotty, the wise young owl," Rosie said. "I love parties," Spotty said with a big smile. The forest animals were dancing to the music of the rockin' rabbits when the wise old owl came home. "What's going on?" he asked. "We're having a party," Rosie said. "Your son's wise words helped me save my eggs from the fox." "Hooray for Spotty," the other animals cheered. Even Max Beaver joined in. Well, wise old owl put his wing around Spotty and smiled. "I'm very proud of you," then he sang. Let's celebrate. It's no surprise. I have a son who's very wise. Isn't that a good one? And again, see, we got squirrels. Am I good? All right. This one does not have a squirrel, though. Sorry. So Jack said, go ahead and read this one anyway. So I have to tell you, it's by Sally Grinley. It's illustrated by Michael Terry. I don't even know who the publisher is. Oh, the publisher is Bloomsbury Children Books, and the copyright is 2003. I got to do that in case anybody thinks that I'm doing something I'm not supposed to do. This is the sulky vulture. Okay, I'm going to do it really fast. Eat your dinner, said Boris's mother. I don't like meat, said Boris. Then go without, said Boris's dad. Head down, shoulders hunched up, toes curled in. Boris the vulture was sulky. What's the matter, Boris? Said Leo the leopard. I don't like meat. Leo chased Boris, and Boris caught him right away. Boris chased Leo, but Leo was too fast. I've had enough of this, grumbled Boris. I bet you I forgot something. Oh, yeah. Never mind, Boris. Let's play a game of tag. Oh, I've had enough of this, grumbled Boris. Ready? Head pulled out, shoulders hunched, and you can't see my feet, but his toes are in, and he was sulking. What's the matter, Boris? Said Flora the zebra. I don't like playing tag. Oh, never mind, Boris, said Flora. Let's play hide and seek. Oh, okay, that sounds like a fun one. Well, Boris hid behind a tree, and Flora found him right away. Then Flora hid in some grass. And of course, you couldn't see her. Boris couldn't find her through, and though he looked and looked and looked. I've had enough of this, he grumbled. Well, then Boris, oh, here we go. Head down, shoulders hunched, toes in. Boris, the vulture, was sulky. Well, what's the matter, Boris? Said Tara the elephant. I don't like hide and seek. Never mind, Boris. Let's throw coconuts. Bet I could throw the farthest, said Boris. Well, Boris threw a coconut. Tara threw one further. Boris threw another one and hit the rhino on the back of the head. Ooh. The rhino charged. Boris leapt into the tree, and the rhino just missed him. Okay, head down, shoulders hunched, toes in. Boris, the vulture, was sulking. What's the matter, Boris? Asked Marvin the baboon. I don't like rhinos. Well, never mind, Boris. Come and swing. Oh boy, this is going to be good. Boris climbed on, and Marvin gave him a push. Forward, Boris went. Backwards, and forward again, and backwards. And higher he went, and higher. This is fun. Harder, push me harder. Then Marvin pushed him harder, and the swing broke. Head pulled down, shoulders hunched, toes pointed in. Boris, the vulture, was sulking. What's the matter, Boris? Said Boris's mother. I don't like meat, and I don't like playing tag, and I don't like hide and seek, and I don't like throwing coconuts, and I don't like swings in. Can I have a cuddle? Of course you can, said Boris's mother. I'll give you a great big cuddle, and then it's time for bed. But I don't like bed, said Boris. Oh, Boris, said all the animals. That's it. Oh my goodness. I can't believe every single one of those books did talk about the poor squirrels, and they lose their nuts, they can't find their acorns. I mean, it's amazing. All right, that's all for right now. Now, normally, remember, I would be putting this on because it's purple, of course, and everything for the next one, which is all about everything that is cold, because it has been cold, and snow, and okay, so anyway, there we go. And then I'm going to do something at the very end about snakes, because of the year of the snake. Okay, I will see you in just a bit.